Hello everyone, welcome back. I brought in this bogwood today just to give it a bit of a clean up. I've already weeded it, so now what I want to do is the moss on this is kind of dried and crumbled up, so we want to put a bit of new moss on here. See, it's all like crumbling away, so I brought in some moss. So we'll start with that and then we'll have a little look at the trees. Let's bring this a little bit closer and we'll bring the camera in a bit. Okay, so you can see here this moss has just had it. It's like, seems to have a lifespan, it just dies off. Well, we'll take out these little pins we made. Get it down, see if there's any more. Get out any weeds. Okay, that seems to be it. A bit of weeding to be done on the top. So just pull them out. Okay, so I'll start on this side and I'll just pin some. One I seem to have left is small bits of moss, but we'll just have to make do with what we have for now. I might have to make a few more pins, alright. The moss was doing really well on this and it was spreading quite good and it was looking really natural, and then just out of the blue it just dies off, dries out. Okay, I'm gonna need to make a few more pins. Okay, so we just cut from this little piece of wire, we bent them to make our little like staples. Like that, ideally I could do with having some big pieces of moss, like a flat big piece to cover the whole thing. All I have is all these little pieces, but hopefully they'll knit in together. This finer stuff on the top here, just to help keep some moisture in. Leave a space there for the fertilizer. Put my fertilizer in a little tea bag like that, so we just put that back up there. Just put one more piece in here. Hopefully that'll just start spreading again. Okay, so the trees themselves, this tree, a few webs on it. I'm just going to clean out any little bits that are sprouting out. We'll clean them off. Bits like this one inside the crotch there, you can see that bit in there. Take that out of there. Just reduce the growing tips back a bit. I think I could actually take that off. Yeah, that whole bit could come off, I think. dead bits in there. The tree's growing, it's not growing tremendously fast, but eventually it hopefully will start kicking in and growing a bit quicker. But for now, I think that's all we'll do with that one. This one down here, all the old moss that was dropped on it. I'll bring the camera down for that one. Okay, so this one, it kind of looks okay, to be honest. Not much to do with that. One thing I think I will do is, rather than having it kind of going up to a point like that, we'll round off the top a bit. So I just need to bring this wire around the top and to catch any the foliage. Keep that bending right round, and then I'll just bring it back a little bit, and then kind of bring it on like that. That doesn't look good either. Take out the bits going down now. There's that back. Okay, let's just round it a little bit. Could go into detail wiring and getting it all really neat and tidy, but at the moment we're still kind of just growing these trees. Trying to get them kind of establishing the pot and getting them strong. So when they're eventually really established and stuff, we'll start trying to, or if I was going to show it, then like go in and start really trying to define the foliage. But it's not going in any show or anything soon, so just keep concentrating on the health of the tree. And just giving it a small bit of pruning here and there, just to keep it some way in profile. So I could lose this top bit, I think. I think I'm going to leave this branch grow out a bit. Dead bits hanging now, it's caught on the webs. Anybody that hasn't seen this piece of bogwood was given to me by my father-in-law quite a few years ago, and I had it was twice the length of this, and I had it in my fish tank, and it was in my fish tank for years, and then I took it out and I cut it in half, which was a pretty hard job to do because it's like stone. It's jet black all the way through. It was like cutting through stone, but we got there, and I actually sold one half of it to another guy to put it in his aquarium, but this piece I decided I'd keep to put some trees on, and when it's wet it goes jet black, so it's lovely. Okay, so cobwebs over here. There's a third tree now that I have down here, but I'm not going to do anything with that. That's just actually a cutting that I grew. So that's just been growing down there now, and I won't start that till next year. And maybe bring it in here, so it kind of fills in under here. Just a little bit of sauce now. Okay. I don't think there's much else now I'm going to do with this one. So we'll bring in my other piece of bogwood and we'll have a look at that one. I'll just bring the camera back so you can see. You see the little tree there? It's just going to be growing up and maybe fill out, either bring it in here, I'm not too sure, or just over the top here or something. And then you have the one on the top. And this one is actually, it was a long, gangly looking tree, and the foliage starts up kind of high up on it. So that's why it's planted in there. There's a hole through the bogwood here, which I brought a branch through. And this branch is just tucked under it there. Okay, so we'll go and get the other one. We'll bring that in and have a look at that one. Okay, so this is the other one I have. This wood is a little bit more rotten. It's not as solid as the other stuff. It's still, I had this longer than the other stuff. I had this for years and years and years. But it's still hanging in there, still pretty solid. But, oh, excuse me. So as you can see, I've got a pyrocantia or firethorn, a cotineaster and a azalea planted on this one. Just a little bit of a kind of a mixed one. Kind of nice now with the different colour berries from the two plants. But I've also got this stuff growing up it, which I've told people before. I bought a little tiny pot of this many years ago, and I just cannot get rid of it now. It spreads over everything. The garden, covered the whole pot, spreads across my decking everywhere. I got it as a little accent plant one day, thinking it might be nice, and as you can see, it just goes crazy. I didn't plant this in here. This has just planted itself, seeded itself in here. I'm not too worried about it in here, to be honest. Just don't want it taking over the whole thing, because it'll cover the entire thing if I leave it. But I'll take out the bulk of it. I don't mind it kind of growing up. It kind of looks quite natural on here and stuff. I just want to just reduce it a bit. Some grass in here, we'll get rid of that. Roots here coming down. That's obviously from this guy, some thick roots. It's grown into this down here. I had sand in here, but to be honest, it gets very mucky very quickly. So, worm there, try one there. So what I might do is I have some kind of coarser sand I'll put in. Right, so the plants themselves, start with the azalea. Just maybe prune this back a bit under here. The azalea. Could wear it up more, but I kind of like it coming right down here when it flowers, so maybe I won't. I'm going to leave it. I'll have to take out these dead branches or stubs and stuff. No, don't think I'll do anything with that. The Biocantia, again, not really growing too much. A lot of the energy is going into the berries, I would say. When it loses the berries, it'll probably grow and start filling out really quickly. That's what it normally does. And that's normally when I have to prune it back. My other ones have already lost their berries and they're growing pretty strong now. The Catinias that I'm thinking of doing a bit of changing with. So I have these branches hanging down here, and it kind of blocks your view of the trunk. The trunk kind of comes out like that, goes down and back up, and these kind of hide the view. So I'm thinking I'm going to take them off. So I have this branch coming off the top of one. So I might leave that for now and we'll just see, and I'll chop it just below that. So that's this branch. And then this one here, again I have these branches coming off. So I'm going to take it off, that one off there. It just makes it so you can see the actual trunk line better. Now I'm just going to prune it back a bit, just to get these some way shaped up. Take this one right back. One coming forward here, we'll get rid of that one. There's one going inside here, I'll take that out. Okay, so I think that just makes it look a little bit better. Maybe round off the top a bit, we're taking away that one. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer, I think. You get the shape of the tree. Like it was growing and then it got knocked down or something, and then it's growing back up again. There's a weed there, we'll just pull that out. It dries out quite easily. I'm surprised this guy is growing so well, considering it's just in a little pocket in there. These guys, there's like a V in the wood, so it goes down quite a bit. So they do have a bit more soil, and like that, the roots of that one is coming down here, and the roots of this is coming down the side. I don't know if it's reached the bottom yet. The azalea roots, I'm not sure how far down they go. But it dries out quite quickly, yeah. So I have it in this tray, and the tray doesn't have any holes in it, so that it holds the water, so the water will soak into the wood and thing. But it is in full sun for most of the day, so that probably doesn't help. You can see even the back here, the roots coming out through the wood. Starting to come, they're eating through the wood, so yeah. But they still seem to be growing okay and surviving, so as long as they're still growing and surviving, we'll leave them off. I can try and keep it watered, but the water, rain runs off it. Now I might move it because it is on a shelf against the shed, which means it doesn't really get a lot of rain on it. So maybe I will put this one out on a bench so it gets a lot more rain as well as watering. Sand wise, I have this kind of, if I can get it out, this kind of old, it's just old sand, old coarse stuff that I had from the fish tanks, and I have some gravel here. So what I'm going to do is just pack in the gravel around the base. It's just some old, just to kind of give it a kind of a drainage thing around it, and just helps make it look a little better, I think. I'll pack that around there, and then get a scoop. This sand doesn't kind of clump like the other sand, it's a lot coarser, and we'll just sprinkle that in so the water will sit in it, and we'll just go like the other stuff kind of goes like solid, so it'll stay a bit looser. And it'll wash down in amongst that gravel. Just let the gravel poke out a bit, just to kind of like a shoreliney look more mainly. I'm not going to be too fussy with it, just something like that, a bit of gravel around the edge. Okay, I think that'll be okay. I will give it a really good soaking now. You got to kind of wet it and then leave it for a while, and then wet it again and leave it for a while again, to try and get the water to really penetrate down here. The other thing I could do is, like I did with one of my others, is get some sphagnum moss and wrap it kind of underneath the moss down both sides, and that tends to draw the moisture up. The only thing I found with that, with my other one, is because it's so wet all the time, then it does work, but you can't, the roots grow, the weeds grow absolutely crazy in it then, because it's wet all the time. And I don't know if being wet all the time will help the trees anyway. These guys, and they would like to grow on like stone walls and stuff with very little water, so yeah, it looks okay. They're growing good, so we'll leave it off. I'll just let that, put it where it can get more rain. Okay, so as always guys, we'll call this video done. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.